Mark Martin, first career win came right here in '89. Jeff Gordon, winner of the Busch Clash at Daytona. And Brett Bodine looking for his second win.
Gordon's coming in.
Gordon. He's a lap down.
Well, there have been a lot of pit stops. Darrell Waltrip is just in on a green flag stop for tires. Kyle Petty, Jeff Gordon have been in. And we pick up Ernie Irvin and Dale Earnhardt. That's Hut Strickland right behind them. In fact, Jeff Gordon has made 2 stops, and Ken Schrader now pits the Kodiak Chevy.
Do not get the car out of shape.
Trouble for Jeff Gordon. He made those 2 pit stops we talked about. They're ready for him yet again.
Yeah, I'm going to speculate this is more than a tire problem right now. That looks like he might have some kind of...
I think he cut down a tire, buddy. That's what he radioed into his pit. And Randy Pemberton is there. Randy?
Well, this team has experienced all kinds of trouble today. They were stuck in second gear coming up through the restarts early on. So cars were scattering behind them at several different restarts today. As far as a cut tire, we're waiting for the right sides to come off right now. They're rolling behind the wall. I think they bolted them out and they're cleaning the windshield. A little trouble on the right rear of the car. No left side tires, just down and away.
Jeff Gordon had gotten into the wall. I noticed right rear quarter panel as he's coming down pit road had a big scar on it, like he might have got in the second turn wall.
Mark Martin going past Gordon as he comes up to speed.
I'd like to say happy birthday to James Turner. He's a police officer who was shot in the line of duty last December, and he always comes to Rockingham, and he's not able.
Wish him recovery. And Rusty takes him 3 wide there for a moment as he moves past those 2 Fords. Let's go to pit road.
Well, I really want to pose this as a question.
Trouble turn 1, Randy. Jeff Gordon is in the wall hard up at turn number 1. Ricky Rudd goes high side to avoid him. And that will change the strategy for many of these teams. And it will doom Mark Martin's chance of winning. He made that green flag pit stop for tires and fell off the lead lap. So Martin and Irvin and Brett Bodine will fight it out for 5th place with 4 cars on the lead lap. There's Jeff Gordon. He's got the window net dropped and the fresh air tube to his helmet, and he's going to climb out.
Not a happy camper. I've seen him thrash around inside the car. The good part is he's not hurt.
So Martin will climb out okay. A good bit of damage to Rick Hendrick's DuPont Chevy, and they will need some refinishing. Pit road is closed. That's the indication. Harry Gant had come down pit road at the time of the caution, so they completed. He was already on pit lane, so they completed service on his car.
Mike, we got a report from Jeff Gordon's radio communication saying that the 43 car got together with him as they went into that corner.
Well, there's Dallenbach. A little too late there to see what happened.
That's on the driver's side there. That really rings your bell just for a second or two. Yeah, he's saying, I'm not real happy with you. You know what I mean?
Well, he was up near the top of the Winston Cup points after a great run at Daytona.
Uh-oh. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
A little nod of appreciation.
And having said that, off to the care center for a checkup.
I think he's okay.
He's okay enough to be mad. Now, Wally did not emerge unscathed, whatever happened to Jeff Gordon.
He's hit more than Jeff Gordon today.
Wiped the numbers right off at King Richard's Chariot there.
Guys, don't be mad at Jeff Gordon for what he just did. I'm going to tell you, when that adrenaline's up like it is in these race cars, that is just a natural response to anything that happens like that. And he won't even be mad when the race is over. But right now, he's smoking.
Jeff Gordon was running in the top 15 at the time of the incident. And there you see that little advantage Earnhardt gets right there. When he chooses that last pit down the line, all he has to do is drop that pit in gear and get across the line to earn position over Sterling Marlin on the restart. It is an advantage that is given to the Winston Cup champion by NASCAR, and you can just see where that advantage really comes into play. We are 21 laps from the finish here at the Rock. We'll be right back.
It's Michael Waltrip who won a Busch race here back in 1990, and the winner of the Daytona 500, Sterling Marlin. In row 4, ranking second in the standings, Ernie Irvan, and alongside the Flash himself, Jeff Gordon. For row 5, it's a 5-time winner at Richmond, Dale Earnhardt, and Mr. Excitement, Jimmy Spencer. A lot of people didn't make this race today, Bill. How about that? What's the story, Bill Elliott?
I really feel sorry for the people trying to get into this sport today because of when I started racing, you could come, there wasn't that many cars over, and there was such a spread in times. You could make the race and gain some experience. Now, if you ain't right on the money and running right up, you got a chance of not making the race. And that's a sad deal, especially as much money is being spent in this deal. But, as more and more the sport grows, the more we're going to see this.
Jeff Gordon is in now. He stayed out a longer time. He wanted to lead one lap. But just before he came in, he called crew chief Ray Evernham and said, "I've got a vibration." They're hoping that that vibration is in the tires. They are changing 4. 2 new men on this crew. The jack man, Barry Muse. The gas man, Gary Stevens. A relatively new crew. A good stop for Jeff Gordon. 19.6. Nice clean stop.
You got a lot of vibration yesterday, didn't you, Kenny Wallace, your second place run?
I sure did. The tire wear's putting the rubber up on the racetrack. What happens, the tires get so hot, we're picking up rubber.
Dick Berggren has the thought.
Well, if the mark of a good team is that they are never satisfied, consider Jeff Gordon's to be an excellent team. They have complained all day that that car is not fast enough. Yet all day the car has run 3rd, 4th, always in the top 5. They have continued to adjust on every stop. Gordon has no specific complaints. They're still working on it, and they still think there's more speed in it.
The interval between first and second is a couple of seconds as you see Gordon back in that 3rd position. He was 32nd just last week after that big crash, but at Daytona, 4th place, and led a few laps down there.
Talked to Ray Evernham this morning, seen him carrying some springs through his garage already at 7 o'clock. I said, Ray, it's too late for that. He said, no, it's not. He said, we're making a change. We had a little bit of a problem in the corner. We're going to change the spring on the car. We think it's going to help. He said, what's your opinion? We talked about it a second. I said, I believe, Ray, you're going the right way. But looks like it is working for him.
Ray Evernham, the crew chief on the car number 24. Apparently it did go the right way. Leaders are pitting. Wallace, Irvin, Gordon, Earnhardt, Martin, Kyle Petty, Brett Bodine, and Rick Mast all on pit road here. Take a look at what's happening here, and here's Dick Berggren.
Well, Rusty Wallace, you did such a terrific job in that last pit stop, is now in the pit area. All the leaders are in. Wallace with the fastest pit crew on pit road. They're down, they're gone. He's going to beat them all out again. 18-3. He's got them all out. Gordon is on his way out. And then finally Irvin. Irvin lost a couple of spots in one spot in that one.
Now, track position is so critical at Richmond, and here you see the number 24 car of Gordon making that move and got himself out there in very good time. The fastest stop, again, was Wallace, but a position picked up by the car of Jeff Gordon. The Ray Evernham team did a heck of a job for him.
Exactly right, Ken. And of course, like you say, Rusty beat him out. But I talked to Ray Evernham at Daytona about that. Well,
hold on, he lost the tire. There's a tire rolling off. And no wonder the pit stop was so good. It's short a tire.
Left rear.
Here it comes. Hello, car 24. Where is your tire? Let's go back down to Dick Berggren.
There it is in turn 4.
Well, the left rear is gone on Jeff Gordon's car. The rear fender is also pushed in. The crew is lifting the car, trying to get the jack under it. They don't have the jack under the car yet. What a shame. It was a great pit stop, but not quite. They've now got the left rear tire on the car. This is a real shame. Schrader now trapped into the pit area by Gordon. Left rear tire on, car not down. Oh, boy. That did it. That blew it. Jeff Gordon, tough break.
Second week in a row. Earnhardt had this happen last week. He had loose lug nuts on a tire. Today it catches up with Gordon. Talk about great track position. He's got some going to do now.
Well, he does now, but I mean, it's so competitive anymore in those pits. Everybody's trying just for that little bitty hundredths of a second, and those are the kind of things that happen when it gets that competitive.
Right. I'm looking at the monitor right now. We got 9 cars on the lead lap. Jeff's okay. There's only 276 laps gone by. That was a mistake. but still, I think they can come back and still run good. His car's been running in the top 3 all day long. Ray Evernham, a good crew chief. Hats off trying to get good pit stops. The team's only 1 year old.
Well, you know, I talked with Ray, like I was saying earlier, at Daytona this year, and he said, we are going to be better this year on our pit stops. We're practicing, we're training, we're going to bring new people in, we're going to move people up, we're going to do what it takes to be better. He said, we're going to beat Rusty Wallace in the pits this year.
Well, it can happen to anybody. We just saw it happen here. Let's get a report on Jeff Gordon.
That's good, right there.
Well, Ken Squire, we decided that the slickest move of the race we saw today, and the winner of the liquid wrench slickest move, Jeff Gordon, for his move getting around Dale Earnhardt late in the going, coming back from dropping a tire off the car during a pit stop. We saw the body damage, the sheet metal, and the left rear quarter panel. So Jeff Gordon, the winner of the liquid wrench slickest move of the race this afternoon here at Richmond. Let's check in with Randy Pemberton.
Brett Bodine and Dale Earnhardt, the defending champion, make up row 8.
And in the 9th row is the last year's Rookie of the Year, Jeff Gordon. His first NASCAR Winston Cup start was here in 1992. And outside row number 9, Curtis Markham, the first 94 start for him in the Children's Miracle Network Ford.
Todd Bodine back in row 10 alongside Wisconsin veteran Dick Trickle.
And in row number 11, without question, the hometown favorite, Bill Elliott from nearby Dawsonville. Ricky Rudd starts also in row number 11. In the 12th row, it's Sterling Marlin, the Daytona 500 winner, and Ken Schrader. Here's Bill Elliott, who won both races here back in 1992 and in 85, and is a 5-time winner at this event.
And a huge favorite here in Atlanta. He's from North Georgia. As we look at Jeff Gordon, this is the same car that Jeff used during the run of the Busch Clash in Daytona this year. He and Ray Evernham, the crew chief, decided they'd take a gamble that the aerodynamic advantage they would have to make up down the straightaway, that would be a good car to bring to Atlanta. They told me this morning, biggest mistake they've ever made. They almost need brake scoops to cool the brakes when he gets to the corner. He has to slam on the brakes to slow the car down.
After back-to-back top 10 finishes at Rockingham and Richmond, they still have the car behind the wall in the jack stands. And Brett, a tough day for you. What happened?
Jerry, after the first yellow flag, the car developed a real bad vibration, and it just continually got worse and worse. Acted like, maybe the ratchet differential, the rear end was acting up. The car was just undrivable. I mean, if it would run smooth, it was okay, but it would come and go, the vibration real bad, and I nearly wrecked the car twice, and we just decided we better just come in and change it and see if we can fix it. No sense of being a bunch of laps down and wreck the car. Let's just try to fix it and see if we can fix the problem.
Well, they have put a new rear end in the car as well as a drive shaft, and the man who currently sits 12th in the point standings is behind the wall and losing a lot of valuable time.
And after those 2 top 10 finishes that Jerry mentioned, Brett Bodine had moved up to 12th in the point standings, but is not having a good day here at Atlanta. There are your top 2 cars, Ernie Irvan on the left and Jeff Burton on the right.
Well, those fabulous T-Birds will have to make another pit stop equal to the 28 crew.
And we will have pit stops coming up before too long. There is Mark Martin, the 3rd place car, and we anticipate him being one of the first to come in. By the way,
as a matter of fact, it's right now. He's slowing. He's heading for pit road.
Only 7 cars are on the lead lap as Jeff Gordon has gone a lap down, and so has Blake Speed. Goes another lap down. He's in 13th position, 2 laps down, and Jeff Gordon, who just lost a lap, now comes in. Jeff running in the top 10. Crew going to work on the right side of the DuPont Chevrolet. Work completed there. Now switching to the driver's side as the clock continues to click. 17. Gas is still going in. Tires are on. Gas is in just a little quicker than Mark Martin's at 19.7 seconds for Jeff Gordon.
He had to wait for the fuel. He had to wait for the gas man to get the car full.
Crashed car of Derek Cope. Let's see if we can determine what happened. We ride along with Derek. There he passes by Ted Musgrave.
Goes in the corner, and the car just all of a sudden went sideways. I don't know if there was some contact with the 16 car or not.
Now, what happened to Bill Elliott? We noticed a shattered windshield on his car. Let's see if we can determine. Yep.
Wow.
just like a bullet coming right at you. Thank goodness for the shatterproof glass, the bulletproof glass that they have in these cars. Here is Elliott making the stop, and they will now begin to make repairs on the windshield of that Budweiser Ford.
Well, they're just going to put some tape over the spot. They're not going to try to change the windshield.
Exactly right. Bill Elliott's right side of the windshield, which was totally tape a moment ago, has now begun to cave in inside the car. It's begun to come into the car. It's somewhat concave, and you see the crew here in the pits as they get ready to put a Lexan windshield in the car. That's Jerry Kinnan, one of the crew members, along with Mike Beam, waiting for their car to make an entry on the pit road. A tough break for Awesome Bill here. A home race here, hoping to get a good finish. It won't happen today.
See Jeff Purvis in the 51 car. That's the Country Time car that Neil Bonnet was going to drive in 1994. I wish I could say it was in Neil Bonnet in that car right now.
And so wishes Jeff. He was named to drive that car a couple of weeks ago. They'll do a limited schedule this year.
And guys, unbelievably, Bill Elliott, Awesome Bill, just might be back after an incredible or very disappointing 1993. He is back on the pole for the first time since Phoenix a year ago. It's the same race car he ran at Phoenix. He has not led a lap thus far this year. That could change about a lap and a half from now.
Here's Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon with Sterling Marlin, third, fourth, and fifth.
Tell you what, Jeff Gordon get a little racy on him.
His car's running good today. He's had good pit stops.
Here's an Auto Light field summary showing you how the cars were running last time by.
Did you know that Jeff Gordon, they've named their crew as well? You know, we got the Flying Aces with Earnhardt. We've got the Fabulous T-Birds with Jeff Burton. Well, there's a Schrader trying to get by the 12 car, Chuck Bound.
Schrader was the big loser on the pit stops. He went in 9th place, came out in 15th. Now he's about to lose that position. No, maybe not. He's going to stay up there, I guess, that he just took away. Moved him to 14th.
Yes, you're right, Benny. They have named themselves the Rainbow Warriors.
Rainbow Warriors. That went off the rainbow on the hood of the car, the DuPont colors.
Jeff Gordon has fallen back in the scoring. Here's John Kernan.
Well, Bob, the Rainbow Warriors had to do a little bit extra dance. They had to use a strap because on the left side of the car, the tailpipe had come loose and it was starting to hang down. So it took a little extra time after they got the left side tires changed to take the strap and to secure the tailpipe. They lost, what, 4 spots in the pits? What is it? It only took them about extra 2 seconds to do that. That's how competitive it is down here on pit road.
Yep, he went from 4th and will now restart in 8th position. Here's John Kernan with Jeff Gordon's pit stop.
The crew all ready to work on the right side. They'll swing around to the left side. They will make a chassis adjustment in the right rear as the car was loose getting out of turn 2. A lot of rubber buildup on the grill. However, they did get that pretty well cleaned off. Now they had a problem with the jack bell. The car sitting on the jack bell before they could get the tires on. Back up that jack in the right idle time. Off pit road, Jeff drops the clutch, guns it down as he heads toward turn 1.
And on the racetrack, we have Brett Bodine, who got into the wall.
He's coming towards you, Jerry.
Yes, he is, and for 2 reasons. Number 1, he wants to change tires. Number 2, his spotter said your grill is full of debris. So watch Buddy Parrott with a wire brush go over and begin to rake the front grill. He has now cleaned the grill and will change all 4 tires. Remember, the big problem here is these tires get abraded so much rubber fills the grill and the car will overheat. 10.5, the catch cam is stuck in the back of the car. Now Rusty backs it up to his pit. They will take the catch cam, and also the left side lug nuts were off the car, so Rusty now has to back up into his pit. The left front and left rear lug nuts, the crew cam, as you're watching now, you see Brad Parrott. They now put lug nuts on, and he is away. They've taken the right side tires.
Dale Jarrett is on pit road. So is Morgan Shepherd, and the 8 car of Jeff Burton is behind the wall. Let's watch Dale's pit stop here as he gave up 3rd position to come in for some fresh rubber.
Right sides go up. They're off. Jackman lets the car down. They're tightening the lug nuts. A chassis adjustment. Put a little wedge in that car, about a half around a wedge in the car. Tightening the left sides. A little trouble back on the left rear.
Yeah, this is a long pit stop.
Yep, 23.3. The jack goes down. The car rolls away. 4th,
Jarrett. Here is Dale Earnhardt putting a lap on Jeff Gordon. Gordon is 17th, so there are 16 cars that are now on the lead lap, and the 16th place car is Rick Mast in car 1. Earnhardt, Gant, Irvin, Marlin, and Jarrett, the top 5 at the end of 151 of 293 laps. Jeff Gordon is trying to get his lap back from Dale Earnhardt. The front stretch, headed into turn 1. Trying desperately to.
He makes it.
Yeah, he does. Jeff Gordon is running 15th. Real close in third. Look at this mess.
Folks, there's going to be a wreck.
Oh,
that's a wreck looking for a place to have it. That's true. I don't see how in the world they got through there.
Hud Strickland and Jeff Gordon and Steve Grissom and others. Lots of others.
Man. Rick Mast, I believe, has just blown the Stoll Classic Ford number 21. He slowed dramatically going into turn 3 and pulled down and headed to the pit area. That gaggle of cars still together as Jeff Gordon dipped on the inside of Steve Grissom. Little contact there between those two cars.
Lake Speed had contact with Fred Bodine, it looked like. Strickland moving to the inside of the lake.
And Jeff Gordon had to get out of the throttle and lost his momentum, and now he's being challenged by, is that Ward Burton?
Yep. So.
Yep. Ward down on the inside. Jimmy Hensley coming up there behind him.
Welcome you back to Darlington Raceway in South Carolina. As you can see, the field is going down the backstretch in front of the brand new Tyler Tower, the double-deck grandstand on the backstretch. It is with heavy hearts that we tell you that the man for whom that was named, Red Tyler, who is shown on the right with the current track president Jim Hunter on the left, passed away a week ago today. He was the president of this racetrack from 1983 until he retired in 1989. Not only was he a great man as far as racing and Darlington Raceway is concerned, but he was a great contributor to society here in South Carolina, receiving its highest honor by the governor, the Order of the Palmetto. We'll miss Red Tyler.
Tribute to Red Tyler, because everyone that's worked on it has seen it. Tells me it's world class, just like Red Tyler. Top of the show, look how easy he was with the steering wheel. Now we see Jeff Gordon very slow. John Kernan, has Gordon got a problem?
Yeah, I just got the signal from one of the crewmen. They think it may be terminal. He had an overheating problem. Earlier in the race, he'd gotten into somebody and closed off some of the ductwork, so he wasn't getting a lot of air into the radiator. They've tried to fix that on the pit stops, but without a lot of caution, they haven't really had a chance to do that. So he's having an overheating problem. As he came by the pits, or came down the front stretch last time by, you could see steam coming out from the exhaust pipe.
Tough break for Jeff Gordon, who was running in the fourth position.
Yeah, we noticed that last time he was in for a pit stop. There was some smoke that would not necessarily come out of the exhaust pipe doing so.
And that's the overflow we see there. A major problem here at Darlington, overheating. If you think on a super steep thing, all that air and they can get in them, that would not be a problem. But that rubber picks up and goes in the grill. And look, folks, this is not a new problem here at Darlington. I won the 1965-75 here. 14 laps in my head, but you know that everybody had the problem, and it was a overheating problem. That was 25, almost 30 years ago. Had problems back then, still the same problem today.
Yep. I can't really explain that. It's because the racing surface is so abrasive. There are plans, however, to repave this track, and that should eliminate the problem.
It'll help it some.
Yeah,
definitely. There's their leader, Dale Earnhardt, and I tell you what, he's losing ground to the second place car off Dale Jarrett. Here comes Dale Jarrett, Bill Elliott. There's 4-second intervals between first and second. We'll keep track of this and just see what happens in a few laps.
And they're taking Jeff Gordon's car behind the wall as we show you this interval between first and second. Dale Jarrett closing in on Dale Earnhardt. And John Kernan is with Jeff Gordon.
Well, Jeff Gordon has pulled his Chevrolet into the garage area, done for the day a problem of overheating. We've mentioned this before about the tire, the rubber that gets built up on the grill, but you also had some of your ductwork knocked back in an incident earlier in the day.
Well, you know, we thought we learned the last time we were here, and we had an overheating problem, and you know, we put a better grill screen in it to prevent that, but it was pretty hot all day long. It ran hot, and I ran something. There's a piece of debris on the racetrack, and I drove right into it. We thought that might help it, but I guess it hurt it, and you know, it ran like 250 for a long time. So my hat's still off to the guys back to Hendrick Motorsports engine shop. I mean, they did a good job, just didn't quite make it all the way to the end.
Well, Jeff Gordon still with a smile on his face. He can do that. He was running 4th today, and now let's go out to pit road back to Jerry Punch.
The Burton brothers are 21st and 22nd.
Ever see Dick Burton? He's 26 laps down, so he's been back there several times today, hasn't he?
Let's go around Greg Sachs down on the inside there.
Jeff Gordon beat Rusty Wallace out of the pits to move into the top spot, but Rusty took over again on lap number 103. We rejoined the action just after the lead change.
24. He gives up his 3rd position to come in for a tire change. Jerry Punch, all yours.
Actually, about 15 laps early for Gordon. They would like to have stayed up to about lap 330. Right side tires already on. They cleaned the windshield, or at least they better clean the windshield. Now they cleaned the windshield. They got the spray up there. Left side tires on. It's full of fuel. Jack is full, and Gordon is down and away.
Good clean pit stop for Jeff Gordon as he takes the DuPont Chevrolet back out onto the racetrack.
So he was able to get back out. Here's 41.
Oh, and Nemechek gets in the way of Rick Mast.
And what a break for Dale Earnhardt as the caution comes out. And he's going to have 2 laps on some and 1 lap on some awfully good cars, including Jeff Bodine and Mark Martin.
There's got to be some celebration going on down in the Richard Childress pit.
Well, also the car number 15 of
Lake Speed
has not pitted. He's in 2nd place, nor has Kenny Schrader.
Right. Those 3 cars are going to be on the same lap and a lap ahead of everybody else. Jerry?
Boy, they got to be living right down here in the Earnhardt pit. Richard Childress has just climbed off of his perch here on top of the pit box and gone over to Andy Petrie. He said, guys, we can't wait any longer. We wanted to pit around lap 340. We're going to come in next time. And as they came out of turn 3 to tell Dale Earnhardt to make a pit stop, the caution flag came out. So, boy, they are excited about having this yellow flag out because that leaves Dale with only 2 other cars on the lead lap.
Well, sometimes patience on the racetrack pays off, and sometimes patience in the pit area, that is keeping your driver out as long as possible, pays off, and that's certainly what has happened in this instance. Now there's Nemechek, and watch, the car will slide up into the groove, and Rick Mast
just clipped him a little bit, just enough to spin Rick around, and the leaders are coming in there, but they get by.
There's Schrader that went to the inside, and we understand that raindrops are falling, not unexpectedly. The pits remain closed because Rick Mast's car is right at the entrance to the pit area, and they're going to have to get it out of the way before they open the pits.
Now, if we talk about a break for Dale Earnhardt, yes, it was, and also for Lake Speed, but Ken Schrader was almost a lap down, so it's a double break for him. He had not pitted, stayed on the lead lap, and is going to be right in the thick of this thing.
Among those that will be a lap down when we go back to racing, Darrell Waltrip, also Mark Martin, the 7 car of Jeff Bodine will be a lap down. Rusty will be 2 laps down. So will Jeff Gordon, and the pole sitter qualified at 124.9. Jerry?
On the 23 cars.
Oh, we got a crash over in turn 3.
Looks like Mark Martin is involved some way or another. A lot of damage.
And the 24 car spun down the back. There must be oil or something down the back straightaway, and Jeff Bodine is trying to beat Earnhardt back around to get a lap back.
Not going to do it.
No.
Okay, the cars involved, Hut Strickland, Mark Martin, and Jeff Gordon. There is Jeff. He doesn't have a left rear, does he?
Looks like the tire.
Jerry Punch, what's going on?
Just about a half a lap ago, Benny, someone radioed and said the 23 car is leaking fluid. And Hunt was going to try to make his way back to pit road, but he didn't quite get back here. So now we've got a caution flag, and Mark Martin is bringing what's left of the Valvoline Ford back behind the wall. Steve Beal and the crew now walking around looking at the car. Mark takes the window net down and will try to get unhooked and climb out. This would be able to possibly make the final pit stops of the day, as Jeff Gordon is also involved. John Kernan?
Well, Jeff Gordon's car is still just sitting at the end of pit road down into turn 3. And what happened was he hit the 25 car and went up and hit the wall and also blew a tire.
First of all, we see the 23 car smoking. And then Mark Martin comes along, hits the wall, and watches Jeff Gordon comes in here. Watch Jeff Gordon.
Wow.
Man, oh man, did he hit the wall.
There must have been some oil there. Something, I guess, that came out of the 23 car and then just hit that and shot him straight into the wall.
It hard taken much to that car to turn over as hard as it hit.
And the 23 car is still on the racetrack. So I don't know if they repaired it or maybe it wasn't. I don't know what the problem is.
Jeff, you had a great day going early on. Looked like you might have been one of the cars to beat. What happened out there?
Well, I really don't know. I just got caught up. I think it's something else that was going on. I was just riding along there on my own lap, me and Mark, I guess, and just trying to ride out at the end of the race. And somebody slowed down up in front of me. Schrader got on the brakes, and I didn't have time to get on the brakes. By the time I did, I flipped Schrader, spun, and got into the wall.
Looks like probably the rear end housing. What all are you going to be able to get back in?
You know, there's not many laps left, and if we do, it's not going to mean much, but we're going to try all we can. These guys been working hard, been doing a good job all day, so we'll try to get back out there. It hit the right rear corner pretty hard.
They're working on the rear end housing, the DuPont Chevrolet. Jeff Gordon standing by to try to get back in the final laps of this race. Bob?
Right now being shown in 14th, and his statement about it hit the wall pretty hard on the right rear is a bit of an understatement.
And, you know, we keep blaming the 23 car for dropping some water or oil, but he did not blame that, and neither did Mark Martin. Right. So maybe it was just the fact that they got in the corner and
just coincidental that, that the 23 was there about that time. A little surprise.
John Kernan, what was the situation regarding Hut Strickland's car?
You're not going to believe this, Bob. I don't think I've seen this happen. Look at this. This is the shock off the right rear. Normally, this goes up inside the cylinder, but it just pulled out while he was out on the racetrack. Just pulled right out. That's a lot of shock travel, isn't it, Benny?
It's a lot of shock travel, and there is fluid inside that shock absorber. So it could be when that shock came apart, that dropped some fluid on the racetrack, and that's what Mark Martin and Jeff Gordon got into.
Absolutely shocking developments here at Bristol.
See, Jeff Gordon's back on the racetrack trying to make some more laps.
Trying is a proper word.
Yes.
Well, if he can run one more lap, he'll pass Mark Martin.
Which is exactly what I think he's doing.
Yeah, I think that's what he's trying to do, is just get another lap to do. That's 3 points. That's what it amounts to.
And although he is in the pits, he crosses the line and therefore does complete the lap. So he will now take it behind the wall.
He's trying to keep this baby together for about another 15 laps.
If he can go on to win this race, he will take over the points lead.